I have watched them back probably 50 times because it was just such a sweet and special moment that I never thought I'd experience. Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and if you're watching this on the day that it goes live, happy Halloween. If you celebrate, I love Halloween and I hope that you're doing something fun, you're trick-or-treating or you're handing out candy or just something good. I'm really excited about this video that I'm going to share with you today because it was such a special memory and I'm so glad that Zach took the little clips of me that he did. I have watched them back probably 50 times because it was just such a sweet and special moment that I never thought I'd experience. I'm going to be sharing the very first ultrasound that I had with this pregnancy. Before I talk about that and the ultrasound experience, you know, having an ostomy, I did want to say that I know that pregnancy videos are not for everybody, and there are people that are sensitive to these types of videos, you know, talking about pregnancy. I know that because I have been there myself where I've had to just click away because it can be painful. So I just wanted to say I am not offended if you do not watch or you want to unsubscribe or you want to just hide me away on YouTube. I totally get it. I'm not offended one bit because we all are, you know, the keepers of our own peace. It's our own responsibility to do that. And I get it. I get it. I've had to do it myself. So, I know that this can be really sensitive for some people. And the reason that I do want to share it is, you know, I've already gotten some comments that the videos are giving people hope who maybe have similar medical conditions, kind of hope for the future if they are looking to start a family, and also just share information about the experience. There are some people who share online, not a ton on YouTube though, not a ton on YouTube that I've been able to find. So I'm glad that I can kind of share the experience, and also those who have been through it have given me wonderful advice and wonderful insight into the experience of pregnancy with an ostomy. So that is why I want to talk about it. Over the next few weeks, I think it's going to be mainly about this just because I do have vlogs that I have to go back through, including today's. So yes, I thought I would share a little bit about the ultrasound experience before I show you the clips that I'm so excited about. With an ostomy, I have gotten questions, you know, is it weird? Is it different? Do they have any trouble doing the ultrasounds? The one that I'm showing today was done at a fertility clinic. And generally, if you are pregnant and at a fertility clinic, you're only there for the first few weeks and then they graduate you and they send you off to go to an OB. So I don't know what it's like at every other fertility clinic, but at mine, the only types of ultrasounds that I've had are transvaginal, which in itself can have its own unique qualities because, you know, I don't have my colon or rectum, and I've talked about some pelvic floor issues that I've experienced because of that. Sometimes you can get pelvic pain, sometimes it can feel really tight down there, and so transvaginal ultrasounds can be sometimes painful. I mean, really for anybody they can be, but I know in our particular population, the colon and rectumless, it can be an uncomfortable experience because I went to pelvic floor therapy and, you know, I learned how to use dilators and pelvic wands and things and really did the exercises that were recommended for me. It's so much more comfortable. So transvaginal ultrasounds are not bad. They were totally fine, and I had them for the first ultrasound, the second ultrasound, and the third, all of which were completed at the fertility clinic. I don't know if they ever get to the point where they're like, hey, an abdominal ultrasound might be better, but I know that earlier on, the transvaginal can see a bit better because the little embryo is so small that sometimes with the abdominal ultrasound, they can't really see anything. So they went straight for the vaginal one. That's what I experienced on my first ultrasound day, which was at 6 weeks, 3 days. The last time they were able to find the ectopic pregnancy, I think at exactly 6 weeks, they weren't able to see it at 5 weeks, 5 days, but a couple days later, you know, they were really thorough and able to find it. Once I graduated the fertility clinic though and went to the OB, immediately they just started off with abdominal ultrasounds. That's all they've done, and they were able to find everything that they needed. In fact, my ostomy, I think the experience could be different for anybody with an ostomy depending on where your stoma is located. Mine is actually fairly high up on my belly. If you look at any of my ostomy videos where I do a bag change, it's kind of, I would say it's even with what used to be my belly button. So it's really hard for me to, hide my ostomy with a pair of pants. Even really high-waisted stuff doesn't totally cover my bag. So usually it's my shirt that does most of the work with covering it. So for that, because they do the ultrasound lower down on your belly, it really has not been in the way at all. They've gotten a little bit of that ultrasound gel on my ostomy bag, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't affect the stickiness or anything. It's totally fine, but that's all that's happened. The only annoying thing is now that I've switched to the abdominal ultrasounds, and the office is 40 minutes away from me, I really like to make sure I have a fresh ostomy bag on and make sure it's as empty as possible. And sometimes my stoma does not agree with that, and Leroy decides to blow up, and so my bag is like kind of full when they do the ultrasound. I don't like that. So that's been something that's been annoying for me to kind of coordinate, but other than that, it's been totally fine. Anyways, let's talk about this first ultrasound. Oh my gosh, I was a nervous wreck leading up to it, and I really truly needed to see it to believe it, but I kind of knew in my heart that things were different this time and that things were probably in the right spot, just because I did start to have morning sickness. I did feel morning sickness last time, but it was nausea. And I didn't know that I was slowly starting to bleed internally and stuff, and that can make you feel sick too. But this morning sickness came on a lot faster, a lot stronger, and so we were kind of thinking like, maybe things are okay. And Zach was like, no, you're good. Everything's fine. It's in the right spot. Don't worry. I'm like, no, I need to see the first ultrasound. So Zach thankfully was able to come along with me. Maybe I should just shut up and just share the clips because it was a great day. Okay guys, it's September 16th. And we are on our way to the first ultrasound, and Zach is here because either way,
it's gonna go well.
He's a lot more optimistic than I am. Everything is pointing that this is normal. Like, this is totally different than last time. But I'm still incredibly nervous because all I know is the ectopic. So I don't know. I'm very sick.
But none of this is like the symptoms you had last time, or
no, it is different.
Experience.
I've had no bleeding. I have experienced cramps like continuously, where the last time it was just an implantation, or like when I estimated that to be, I felt a little cramping and then it went away. But even this morning when I woke up, I could feel it in my back, and I feel twinges in my uterus. So I don't know, I'm very sick to my stomach now, which is way more than I felt last time. I'm trying to figure out what I can eat, which is not fun, but I'm gonna complain about it, but really I'm super happy that I'm experiencing it. Like, give me the symptoms, I'm fine with it as long as everything's good. And yeah, I'm sure there's other things. My stomach is a little bloated, but that's not all that crazy. I think it was bloated last time too, but it feels different. It does feel different. I just know that I'm gonna cry either way, and I don't want to drive crying. So we've got Zach here, and also he wants to see. So, because he never got to see the last one, because they never, he wasn't there for the early morning ultrasounds when we didn't really know what was going on. And then in the hospital, I asked, when I went to the emergency room, I kept asking them, and they said no. So I had to do it alone. Yeah. Which is kind of disappointing. I don't know, but
that was weird.
I know that they let your husband in at my clinic, so I do have a few questions today. If anything, as long as everything goes well. I don't know if they'll keep seeing me for a couple of weeks and then I transfer to an OB, or I guess I make that appointment as soon as possible. I do have somebody in mind. It's the person that I was suggested to go to from one of the surgeons that sat down and talked with me after the fallopian tube removal.
It's going to be the same hospital network.
Yeah, it's the person that I talked to was this little bit older gentleman. I forget his name. I feel so bad. But he was so friendly and so encouraging to me because he says, you know, we've seen people like you. This isn't outlandish that somebody with Crohn's and an ostomy wants to have a kid, but also, you know, this person that he recommended, he thought would maybe work with me if I wanted to do a vaginal delivery. I don't know if that's possible for me, but it is possible with the proctocolectomy and ostomy. I know that because I have friends that have done it. So it's something that I would like to attempt, or at least have a doctor that's open-minded to it. But obviously, whatever works for me. So I did find the doctor's website that I would like to go to, at least, you know, feel them out, meet with them. And so I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm in the last couple minutes of being sort of excited for this, and I just don't want it to be ruined by one ultrasound. Like, just please be in my uterus and please be healthy. Anyways, I'm 6 weeks, 3 days.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. And we will see what happens. There we go.
Better than the elevator Tyler's new apartment. It shuts very quickly to shuttle me.
Oh. I'm nervous.
It's gonna look great.
Please work. Please, everything will be fine. And my best friend.
Oh, I probably should not have zoomed into 10. I forgot how. Oh, you had it zoomed out to 0.6. That's why.
The last time we were here together was the IUI?
Yeah.
I'm shaking so hard. It's weird. Oh, thank you, God.
Fist bump.
Did it? Alright, I gotta put my pants on.
I'm waiting. I'm kidding.
Okay, so Zach was right. The baby is in my uterus, and they found it right away.
It's tiny.
And its heart rate is 120.
Yep. Is that normal or?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay.
Yep, that's... We did it. There's a baby. Oh my gosh. This is wild.
Step 1.
And then they gave me a little sheet on how not to throw up, which a lot of this stuff I think I'm doing anyway. And then they gave me a little card to call for a doctor and make my appointment today for an OB. So I will get another ultrasound next week, and then the week after.
And then you move on.
And then I move on, you know, as long as everything continues to go well.
How often do you have to go see the OB once you get past these next 2 weeks?
I don't know, but I have a feeling I'm going to be high risk. I'm fairly certain, so I think it'll be more often than typical, but yeah. Crazy. There we go. All right. Well, I am officially pregnant with what seems to be a healthy pregnancy. She said I may spot because I had a little blood collection which she said might reabsorb or I might bleed it out, but totally didn't expect this. Our doctor came in and he was like, wow, what's going on? Because we were going to do IVF in about a month. We were going to start that process, so.
Yeah, it hurt their business a little.
I know, I'm like, yeah, feel bad, but not really. I'd rather do it this way. Thanks so much.
I think they're totally fine, too.
Yeah. I think just after what happened, I think they felt really bad. And so I think they're happy it worked out this way. As you can see, oh my gosh, I was ecstatic. I was like, oh my gosh, I am actually pregnant and things could potentially go well. Like, what? I couldn't believe it. It was the coolest feeling ever to know that something is growing inside of me and we did it on our own. Like, Zach and I somehow made this happen after all of this time. So flippin' cool. And to see the little heartbeat. I mean, as soon as they inserted the ultrasound wand, it immediately popped up on the ultrasound machine. And I knew it was different because the last time it took them about 10 minutes to find the ectopic pregnancy. So when it popped up immediately, I was like, oh. Something funny that happened at this ultrasound was I had both my doctor and the nurse practitioner. The nurse practitioner is the one who found the ectopic last time, and she was incredible. She is fantastic. And I really like our doctor too. He was awesome with advocating for me for the hospital, like communicating with them. I really like both of them. So they both came in. They were both in there for this ultrasound, and the NP was the one actually performing it. And so she obviously had control over the wand. I don't really know how they decide to, do these scans. I know nothing about ultrasound. But I guess they were trying to look for my remaining fallopian tube, the one that was still there, which is the one that's on my left side. So my doctor, who was not the one controlling the wand, and obviously what side that she was, going to, I forget if she said she's gonna look at the side that has the fallopian tube or doesn't have the fallopian tube. Anyway, what wound up happening is my doctor thought we were on the side that is not supposed to have one, and they were seeing one on the screen. And he goes, what side did you say your fallopian tube was removed on? And I was like, the right side. And he gave this look like, it's still there. And that's when the NP was like, no, I'm over on the left side now. Like, that's that tube. So we all had a laugh. I was like, what did you think, it grew back? Anyways, it was just a positive experience all around going there, and they were so happy and, just saying congratulations. It was fantastic. So I will probably continue to watch that clip of me holding the ultrasound picture and being like, ah! I will watch that again and again because it was just the coolest feeling. Anyways, the next day I decided to record a little clip because I was really not feeling well. I mean, the symptoms were they were really popping off. They were coming on strong. I think right around 6 weeks or like end of 5 weeks is when it really ramped up, and I started to experience symptoms. So my doctor did give me that sheet that I showed you, which just said stuff like the B6 and Unisom and keeping oily crackers by your bed and eating first thing in the morning, things like that. But here's the clip of me the next day really struggling. Okay, whew. I just walked up the stairs and am out of breath like crazy. I'm kind of worried about doing videos and somebody commenting on how out of breath I am, because I feel like I've edited some videos recently where I'm just like anyways, I'm in the guest bedroom about to try to lie down to nap, and I thought I would just share. Yesterday was the ultrasound for reference, so I am 6 weeks 4 days. Oh boy, man, yesterday, so we had a long day. We got up early for the ultrasound, and then Zach was working from home yesterday, and I don't know what I was doing, but I was not napping. There was a lot of time between evening and morning that something must have been going on, but nothing was getting done. Yeah, I must have wasted the whole day. We went to TGI Fridays. Oh God, I'm out of breath. Went out to get their 50-cent wings. And I could only eat a couple and I was like starting to gag, but what really hit the spot was the nachos with the queso. That was really, really good. And then towards the end of dinner, they sat somebody behind us who was wearing the strongest perfume. I don't think it was actually that strong, but the whole sense of smell situation increasing, oh my gosh, that is so... It's wild. Eating is so weird because I just am trying to, like, eat constantly. Not because I'm hungry, I have no appetite, but I keep thinking, like, that's gonna make me feel better, which it kind of does. It is kind of making me feel better if I just consistently eat. But it's hard not, like, having anything that sounds good. Nothing sounds like it would be tasty. And nothing has been so far. Nothing's been like, oh yeah, that was so good. Except for those nachos, they were pretty dang good. For the most part, stuff is pretty gross. And along with that, just like this crazy nausea. I'm trying B6 with the Unisom. I found that online and my fertility doctor also told me about it. They told me that the B6 has to build up in my system, so I've been trying to take that a few times a day. I don't know if it's helping or not, but I'm not going to stop it to see if it gets, you know, the sickness feels worse, because I just don't want to feel that way. And it also just feels like it's almost better if I keep busy. I was so dead tired last night. It is rare when this happens. I've experienced it because, you know, Crohn's, it kind of, sometimes it takes your energy away. Last night, I got into bed probably 8:45. And Zach actually came up with me. He's like, you know what, I'm pretty tired. I'll just watch TV in bed for a while and then I'll fall asleep. And he wanted to use the restroom first before getting into bed, so I was in bed first. And I do not remember him coming to bed. He had the light on. He was watching TV. There were noises. There were sounds. There was light. And it did not get to me until like the middle of the night, because he got up to use the restroom again before turning the light out. And I woke up and I was like, did you come to bed right away? I don't remember you coming to bed. He's like, I've been next to you this whole time for hours. You're just knocked out. So yeah, I was very tired. So I kind of want to try to take a nap today. I'm in the guest bedroom because it's, I don't know, it's less cave-like. I feel like if I sleep in the bedroom, then I'm going to be out for good. If I sleep in a room with a little bit more light, and that's not our bedroom, my hope is it'll just be a light nap, maybe give me a little bit of energy so I don't completely zonk out like I did last night. That's my hope. Okay, so I'm going to lie down, I'm going to put the TV on, and I'm going to put the fan on, because we got the fan with a little remote. It's pretty cool. That is my little update in the 6-week video. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I won't add this. You know what? I'm just really grateful to be pregnant. I'm so, like, yesterday I kind of started to get fearful. Like, oh my god, you're pregnant. But I have watched the video clip that Zach took of me right after the ultrasound 20 times, and I have cried every single time. I'm so happy. I have this little tiny baby in me, and I'm just like, okay, well now I gotta go cry. Oh my god, it's crazy. Definitely crying more too. I am so thrilled. Like, I'll take the sickness, I'll do whatever I have to do. It sucks, but I'm really happy. So there we go. That was my first ultrasound experience, plus a little bit of struggling and symptom management the next day. I am really excited that I can share this with you, just that little clip. I know I wasn't able to record during the actual ultrasound. I think most places don't allow you to. But I actually do have a video from an ultrasound where I was provided the live footage during the ultrasound happening, so that was really cool. I loved going to the fertility clinic. Just they did weekly scans, and so it wasn't just like, oh, I get to see that it's in the right spot, but I got to see the very early development of the baby, which most people miss out on. You know, you don't get to see that if things go normal and you just go to an OB between 8 and 12 weeks. You miss it going from this tiny little blob to something that starts to have arms and legs. Like by my last ultrasound at the clinic, which I'll share also at some point, like things were taking form and we could really see. I mean, they spent a lot of time showing me all the different parts and so cool. Anyways, that is my video for my first ultrasound. And of course, I'll be sharing the ones that follow after that. And kind of my experience moving forward. But that was from 6 weeks, 3 days, and today I am like almost double along from that. We're almost to the second trimester. I think it starts 13 weeks. I don't know. If you Google it, sorry, there's a hair on my nose. If you Google it, some people say 12 weeks, some people say 13 weeks, and some people say 14 weeks. So I'm going with 13 because it seemed like most places said 13 weeks is when you're in the second trimester, which will be tomorrow for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next. Bye guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at LetsTalkIBD.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.